Give me that moment, it'll be worth your while. May make myself crazy, maybe.
This is the Independent 88.5 FM and 885fm.org live music, always inspirational in our studio. And today we're taping a segment on the campus of Saddleback College in this beautiful TV studio with the fabulous Alice Wallace. How are you today?
I am doing just great. So happy to be here.
You know how long it's been since I've been wanting to do this with you and your band? It's
How
been,
long?
It's been months and months. Now I'm in the position where nobody could tell me not to do it.
Hey,
So
that's a good position to be in.
it is, isn't it? So you're here today. We'll talk about the new record. I guess we're going to get some songs out of you and your band. But who did you bring with yourself today?
Yeah, well, we got Xander Hitzig over here on the fiddle and guitar. We got Austin Callender on the bass and Matt Lusich back here on the drums.
Well, AliceWallaceMusic.com is the website. You've got the Twitter and the Instagram and the Facebook and the YouTube, and there's a lot of content to delve into.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as far as Alice Wallace. So I guess you're going to play a couple new songs from the new record and maybe a cover today as well, right?
That is the plan.
All right. What are we going to get first?
We're going to start with the first single we released off the album, which is a song. It's a very Southern California song about a phenomenon we have out here called the Santa Ana Winds. Out on the horizon, there's a wicked orange glow, while a neighbor sprays a rooftop with a garden hose. You heard they couldn't save the horses, so they had to let them go, while the Santa Ana winds just blow. Newsman, he keeps talking like he thinks that you don't know, and the shelters, they're all stocked up with prayers and with hopes, and it's get out now and on your way with whatever you can hold, while the Santa Ana winds just blow.
Fantastically done. Again, that's some live music in our studio here on the Independent 88.5 FM. It is Alice Wallace, and our listeners have heard that song on the air in the past few weeks. It's called Santa Ana Winds. Did you write that after the most recent wildfires in Southern California, or was that something that was brewing beforehand?
It was a little beforehand. I was actually when the Thomas fire was going through Santa Barbara and Ventura counties, which I think now was maybe a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years ago. And I wrote that song with a friend of mine out of Texas named Andrew Delaney. We wrote several songs for my new album together, and I was just watching this, devastating news coverage. Luckily, it didn't affect me, but like just trying to put into words something about these fires. And of course, then the fires just got worse the next year. And then of course, affected all through LA and Malibu this past winter. And yeah, so it just was trying to capture it in some way in a song.
Yeah, well, you did, and I feel like it's very relatable, especially when the song dropped. It was obviously very topical as well. Again, this is Alice Wallace on the air with us this afternoon. Into the Blue is the new record. It came out in January, and I think you leaked the song Elephants first.
We did.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like that was months before the record dropped, which dealt with some pretty heavy subject matter.
Yeah. And actually, that was a song written by my friend Andrew Delaney. That's the one song on the record I did not write, but I thought it was such a brilliant song. And he had written it years before, but then the Me Too movement started, and it was really topical, so we decided to put it out early ahead of the record actually coming out. But yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're certainly an artist with a lot to say, and an artist who is paying attention to what's going on in the world around you. Is that a fair assessment as far as the new record, Into the Blue? Is it social commentary from you?
Quite a few of the songs, more than in the past. Yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of things to think about right now, and a lot of things, a lot of issues to tackle, and it just came out in my songwriting.
Yeah. Well, again, the new record's been out since January. As soon as I heard it, I thought, yes, this is going to be the breakthrough album for Alice Wallace. We've seen it recently with, I guess, a local talent, Sam Morrow, who got some national coverage, and all of a sudden, radio stations like ours is playing his music on the air, And I feel like this record is still going to be the one for you. It takes some time, frankly, and we've seen it a lot in radio, especially. It does take some time for people to take notice, and I believe they will. We were talking off the air. You're playing the Americana Fest in Nashville in September. I think that could be a very good look as well. Have you played that event before?
I did a couple years back, and I've been going out there for the whole week of festivities for the past few years. So it's going to be a good time. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming up on the horizon. I'm doing a big festival in Louisville right after that. Going to Europe in October for a month. So yeah, it's been building all year. Been getting some great press. And yeah, putting this album out has just been a great experience.
It's fantastic. Speaking of press, Rolling Stone did a cool write-up, Paste Magazine, the Bluegrass Situation as well, and we hold them in high regard as, I guess, just a musical entity as well. We also host the Bluegrass Situation blog on 885fm.org as well.
Yeah, it's a great site.
It really is, and they've really embraced the Southern California sort of Americana and California country scene, which is going on right now. I want to ask you about that. Some more questions about the record as well. But how about another song, if you guys don't mind?
Yeah, we're going to do another song off the record. This is one I wrote one afternoon when I was kind of feeling like every song had already been written. I was in this kind of mood. But then I thought, you can always find a new way to sing the same old song. So this is called The Same Old Song. I need a moment, a reason, a ride. Feels like I've lost a little piece of my mind. And I've been searching my whole life long, trying to find a new way to sing the same old song. We all have our moments when everything's clear. Other times we wonder why we're even here, holding our own
There you go. More live music in our studio here from Alice Wallace. AliceWallaceMusic.com is the website. Another new song off the record, Into the Blue, which is available right now. I don't know everybody in I guess, the local music scene, but I do know it appears that there's a thriving sort of Americana/California country scene. Does everybody know each other? And I'll just rattle off some names that I know.
Okay.
And that's Jamie Wyatt and Sam Outlaw and Elijah Ocean, who I've become friends with, and guys like Sam Morrow, and I know I'm forgetting a whole heap of people. But what is that scene like? I feel like you roll in the, sort of the same circles.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But is everyone supportive? And can you speak on the sort of underground scene that's going on right now?
Yeah, I will say I don't spend as much time in LA as others do, so I'm not as much a part of the scene. I spend so much of my time touring, but there is a great culture of country music here in California. I mean, there's a long history of it, obviously, and it continues with lots of new artists, and all the ones you mentioned, they're all great artists who are friends of mine, and I do love being part of this California country culture that's kind of moving into sort of an Americana sort of genre. But yeah, there's a good scene out here for what we do.
Yeah. Are you originally from Southern California? I know you kind of waved the flag for not just LA, but Orange County for sure. I guess the whole Southern California region. Where is home for you now? And are you from here?
Well, I do live up in Fullerton in Orange County, and I was born in LA. My mom grew up in Hollywood, and my parents had both me and my sister here, but we moved to Florida when I was like 2. So I was born out here. This has always been like kind of home, but I spent most of my life in Florida and only moved back here about 11 years ago. And so now I've been out here a while, though, and it really feels like I'm where I'm supposed to be when I'm out in California. So I do love it here.
When did you first pick up the guitar and start writing music?
It was in my teenage years, although I grew up around a lot of music. Both my parents sang and played guitar, and there was always music going on. They were always sitting and strumming in the living room with, old Graham Parsons and Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt and some great old songs that really influenced what my sound would eventually become, because I kind of fought it for a while, and then I came back to it years later going, this is good stuff. And I really feel like I taught myself to sing by singing along to Emmylou and Linda Ronstadt and all those great singers.
I think as a youngster, I grew up with my parents listening to a certain sort of music, and then I rejected that as a teenager. And sure enough, you go back to it. It's kind of
you need to have that rebellion. Yeah, like you got to know I'm going to find my own music, and then you go back and you're like, wait, but their music was really good.
Absolutely. This is Alice Wallace and her incredible band here on The Independent, 88.5 FM and 88.5fm.org. I'll say it again, not many stations could do an artist interview smack dab in the middle of the day or a session. We do that, and we can't do it without our members. So if you haven't signed up to be a member yet, you can do that through 88.5fm.org. Have to do that, Alice. It's very important for our operation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You're all over the socials. You got the great website. There's a YouTube video, or there's a music video for Santa Ana Winds. And I think The Blue as well.
Yeah, The Blue was the second single, the title track. So we did put out that was the one that Rolling Stone Country featured when it came out.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool as well. So it's a one-stop shop on that YouTube page of yours. What I think is very cool as well is there's videos of you going back years. And it's just it seems like sitting in your bedroom, just kind of playing music to the camera.
It's been a lot of years in the making, me just sitting in my bedroom writing songs and finding my voice and finding my storytelling voice too, So I'm really happy to be where I am after all these years.
What could you tell us about the Rebel Road operation? And you're more or less affiliated with that, right? Yeah,
so Rebel Road Records and as a production company, it's a group of 3 women who put together, basically an organization to promote women in country and Americana music. And my album was the first album that they put out on their record label. So it's really been a treat to work with, strong women with lots of talent and ambition and lots of great ideas. And it's been a really great team to work with.
That sounds great. I think KP Hawthorne is affiliated with that, formerly with the band, Calico the Band, and now she's doing her thing, the Hawthorns.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe as well. Anything else to touch on before we kind of wrap it up and rip into the next song?
I don't think so. We're just happy to be here, and thank you for playing my songs on your station. We so appreciate it. This is absolutely my favorite station in Southern California, so it's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Tell your friends we could definitely use the help.
I am. I'm going to spread the word far and wide.
As far as showing off your vocal range, you wanted to do a cover this time.
I did.
And there might be some yodeling involved.
Which
is certainly a crowd pleaser, and you're probably asked to do that a lot, I imagine.
I am, but I don't mind. I do it, on my own as well. And I taught myself to yodel back in college, and I just feel like I think the world needs a resurgence of yodeling, so I'm trying real hard to bring it back.
We're on board with that. Did you want me to grab your water, or are you good?
I think I can do it without the water. I
Okay.
think we'll see.
All right,
maybe
Alice
I'm
Wallace.
chancing
This
it.
is the Independent 88.5 FM.
And this is a song actually by the great Don Walser, who they called the Pavarotti of the Plains. This is called The Rolling Stone from Texas. I'm a rolling stone from Texas. I'm a rolling stone from the plains. I'm a rolling stone from Texas. Boys, I long to be back there again. Say, are you from Texas? Well, that's what I'm wanting to know. 'Cause if we're both from Texas, boys, let's bundle up our clothes and go. Give me that moment, it'll be worth your while.